There's a big focus on beautifying Beaumont. So it's a vast amount of stuff that we take care of. That's all part of the Parks Department. We not only take care of our maintenance work inside of the parks, but we also maintain the highways throughout the city, Interstate 10 and 69. We also take care of all the landscape around any city-owned building. All of the plantings of flowers you see around town, that's all part of the Parks Department.
Hello, and welcome to the Beaumont Beat video podcast, where we move with the heartbeat of the city. I am Paige Reed, broadcasting from the beautiful Beaumont Botanical Gardens, situated in the front of Terrell Park. Today's guest is our Parks and Green Space Director, Mr. Kenneth Raggett. We will be talking all things spring, including the upcoming citywide cleanup, the city parks master plan, what's being planted around town, and we'll even get some pointers from the master himself on what you can plant in your own yard to promote native growth and wildlife. Thank you for tuning in. I have one quick announcement before we get into today's show. Our citywide cleanup is happening this Saturday, May 4th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., and we need your help to beautify Beaumont. We will all meet at Sprott Park to get our breakfast and our neighborhood assignments. For more information and to register, please visit beaumonttexas.gov/spring-cleanup. We hope to see you there. At some point, you've probably seen our Parks and Green Space Department hard at work. From planting trees to mowing over 2,200 acres of land, there's always something to do. And the man behind it all is here today. Kenneth, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Yes, it's going to be a good one. So, Kenneth, the Parks and Green Space Department is one of the newest departments in the city. But, I mean, like I said, y'all do so much. So how do you pick what to prioritize and what gets done?
Well, in our department, we not only take care of our maintenance work inside of the parks, but we also maintain the highways throughout the city, Interstate 10 and 69. We also take care of all the landscape around any city-owned building. We actually come out here to the Botanical Garden once, maybe twice a week, and help with maintenance here. All of the plantings of flowers you see around town, that's all part of the Parks Department. So it's a vast amount of stuff that we take care of. It's just not playground equipment. The city has taken a different focus or look at Beaumont, especially with the development that wants to go on downtown. There's a big focus on beautifying Beaumont. And by creating or separating parks and recreation, Parks Department now can focus more on beautifying, whereas recreation can focus on other things that bring joy to our citizens' lives.
Very cool. And like I just mentioned with the citywide cleanup, that is one initiative y'all have taken. And I know this isn't the first one that we're doing.
Most definitely. This will actually be the third. But the Parks Department itself, we have a litter crew that goes out every day, each park that we have, all 36, and basically pick up the litter that's there, as well as along the highways. We have a crew that goes out every day. They basically pick up the litter before the tractors come down the road and cut the grass. So now we've partnered with BISD on litter around the city, and basically we help with the schools. They pick up around the schools and the local neighborhood around the school. And the city itself, we go out in each section or each ward that we have, and we designate areas that really need to be cleaned up, and we go in and help clean those up.
Well, yep, just bag it. Pick it up.
Bag it and trash it.
Wow. And I know the last one that we did, I think it was in November, we collected something like 2,300 pounds of trash. That's like a Toyota Corolla.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. A lot of trash, but there's still a lot to be picked up. And that's one thing we need to let our citizens know. You know, when you're going down the roadways, don't throw out that trash from your car. Keep it until you get home. Or if you're going to one of our beautiful parks, drop it inside the trash can.
Yep. Don't be a litter bug.
Don't be a litter bug.
So this is a larger part of the Keep Texas Beautiful initiative, right?
That's correct.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, as you know, growing up in Texas, as most of us have, we've always heard of Don't Trash Texas, Keep Texas Beautiful. But it's actually part of a national incentive on keeping America clean. So the city of Beaumont has taken up the challenge of keeping our city clean. And so twice a year, fall and springtime, we do a citywide cleanup, and that's all part of helping keep Texas beautiful as well as our city clean.
Very cool. And people can still register, citizens, anybody can do it.
Anybody can register. We always need as many hands out there as we can.
Absolutely. And for our viewers, you can still register by going to beaumonttexas.gov/spring-cleanup. So Kenneth, one more time, I know I just invited everybody, but can we get a personal invitation from the Parks and Green Space Director for everyone to come out to this citywide cleanup?
Most definitely. I'd like to invite everyone to come out and participate in cleaning up our city. Since creating this department a little over a year ago, our focus is basically just continuing to beautify Beaumont the best way that we can.
Yeah. And so why is that? Like what part of that benefit? I mean, obviously, besides being pretty, what does Beautifying Beaumont do for citizens, visitors, everybody?
Well, it just shows that we have pride in our city. Well, as citizens and visitors, as you travel through the city of Beaumont, you'd like to see a clean Beaumont. So that's been a focus of the city. Especially now with the development of downtown, there's even a stronger focus of what our city looks like or how we represent ourselves to visitors. So with the creation of my department, our focus and biggest challenge is to keep Beaumont beautiful. And that's what we're doing.
I like that. And good little reference to our Beaumont rap that we've done.
Beaumont means beautiful mountain, not mountain of trash or polluted fountain. It's a problem we can't sweep under the rug. Nobody likes a litter bug. So swing into action just like Tarzan and leave our home cleaner than it began. Don't just throw garbage out your sedan. Pick up your trash and aim for the can. If we stop throwing trash in the streets by the pile, we'll live in a place that will make us all smile. If someone threw trash in your house, you'd cause a calamity. Beaumont's our home, keep it clean for our family. Gotta do this together, collaborative. If you live where you love, then love where you live. Don't be a litter bug. Keep Beaumont beautiful.
We also hear that there is a voluntary beautification fund that people can donate to, and that kind of helps with those kind of projects, right?
Yes, there's a voluntary fund that people can donate to. Those funds will basically go into the Parks Department's budget, which will enable us to continue with the beautification around the city. Those funds will be strictly allocated towards beautification,
Very
from
cool.
purchasing plants to any planting material that we may need.
And how can people donate to this fund?
Right now, it's through your water or utility department.
Okay, just
You can
call
make
up there and
you
say,
can make
"Hey,
a
I
donation
wanna-"
through your payment.
So I have seen all of the fruit trees, citrus trees, pears, like all these different kinds of edible fruit trees that have been planted in our city parks. That is such a cool thing.
It is.
And so do other cities have stuff like this? Where did this idea come from?
Yeah, you can find this in cities throughout the country, actually, so it's not anything new. While on vacation, I actually discovered in one of the cities that we were visiting, it was during citrus season. They had citrus trees planted along the avenues. People were sitting down after they picked their fruit off the tree or walking and eating the citrus. And I said, this is a good idea. Maybe we can bring this to not necessarily along our roadways in Beaumont, but inside of our parks, where our citizens are there, where especially our young citizens may not have ever saw a peach tree or plum trees or able to pick fruit off of a tree. So I thought it would be good to do that.
Yeah, and it's such an innovative thing. I have loquat trees in my backyard, which you don't see often, you know, but I've been researching recipes and they're ripe right now. They're nice and orange. They kind of taste like kiwis.
Exactly.
And it's just so convenient to have just a little snack whenever you want it.
That's right.
How did you come up with what trees were going to go where and kind of like mapping out and planning what you would plant in the different parks?
Well, I think the pear orchard community was a no-brainer to plant pears there. And I wanted to plant something in each ward. And actually, we'll expand on that every year as budget allows. So we put the pear trees out at Sprott Park, which is your pear orchard. Charlton Pollard Park, we put fig trees, which that area, a lot of people moved in from Louisiana. Louisiana still loves their figs, and when the people moved in that area, probably back in the 20s or so, and even as a kid, I remember the numerous fig trees you had in the South End. So I introduced the fig trees there. Rogers Park, we put in peach trees. And Klein Park, we actually just planted the citrus since our cold weather is over. We put in citrus, a couple of plum trees, and a couple of apple trees. I'd like to expand on that each year and hopefully get a grant that we can really develop a nice orchard that our citizens can come in and enjoy fresh fruit, and maybe even help out with those who don't always have fresh fruit at home.
And I mean, they're just saplings right now, but I mean, it'll take a few years before it actually
2 to 3
germinates.
years.
Okay.
Actually, a couple of the peach trees now, they have a couple of peaches on them, but you always pull them off the first year because the tree is so young. Citrus is the same way. They're in full bloom now. We'll be setting fruit, but again, we'll pull that fruit off.
I mean, that's a very innovative idea, and hopefully more innovative ideas will come in our Parks Master Plan, which is being compiled right now.
Most definitely. I'm very excited about our parks, recreation, and open space master plan. The plan would not only address what we have now in our park system, but it will lead us into the future. And that's what our city leaders are trying to do for Beaumont, basically bring us into the future with the development of downtown. We can go downtown and enjoy the new things that will be coming there, as well as bringing in tourism. But our parks will touch every citizen in Beaumont, even if you don't go downtown to enjoy all the new things that are planned to come. So this master plan will develop for the next 10 years of what our park system could look like, working with what we have now as well as adding to what we have.
So there will also be opportunities for citizen input throughout this process.
Most definitely. Citizen input is very key to this master plan. So there will be town halls that you will be able to attend, as well as I think there may even be some way that you can get on social media and things like that and voice your concerns or your wants or desires for what the park system should look like.
And viewers, make sure to follow our Facebook page and check our website for updates on when those town halls will be. You were saying this is a 10-year plan, right? Like this is pretty far in the future. Is it kind of revolving every year, or like 2024 will last us until 2034? You know, like what's the mindset behind this timeline?
It will be a revolving plan. We want to be good stewards of tax dollars.
Of course.
So we'll see what we can do for each year as we progress down the road.
And I mean, 10 years is a long time to do a lot of cool stuff.
Most definitely. And that way, citizens can look forward to something new every year.
Yeah. Well, as an avid lover of all things dirt and planting and gardening, I cannot wait to see this Parks Master Plan. And it's in the works right now, right? Like we're really starting this process.
The ball is moving. It'll take about a year to be completed.
And, like with citizen input to all of our viewers, please check our Facebook page and also our website so we can update you on when we'll have those town halls and stuff, because we really would love your input. Up next, we'll talk about some ways for you to promote native ecosystems in your own yard. But first, I have a few more quick announcements for you. May 5th to May 11th is National Pet Week, and Beaumont Animal Care is offering reduced adoptions all week long. They're usually $75, but they will be only $20 for all the animals in our shelter. What a perfect time to welcome a new furry friend. The Beaumont Recreation Department has several summer programs you can sign up for Beaumont youth. Summer camp registration is now open. Join us for games, crafts, field trips, and fun in the sun. Ages 5 to 12 are welcome, and there are 2 sessions, one in June and one in July. Register today at the Sterling Pruitt Activity Center. Speaking of youth programs, the Youth Summer Track program is back too. If your child is interested in track or just has a little too much energy they need to expend, sign them up today at the Sterling Pruitt Activity Center. Hurry though, registration closes this Monday, May 6th. As always, you can stream this show and past episodes of the Beaumont Beat on multiple platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Subscribe to our channel, like this episode, and share this podcast so others can join in too. We're always looking for new topics, so drop a comment wherever you're tuning in to let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes. If you're just now tuning in, we were chatting with Mr. Kenneth Raggett, our Parks and Green Space Director. He's given us some good insight on the upcoming Parks Master Plan, talked us through many different fruit trees that have been planted around town, and has extended a personal invitation to each one of you watching to join our upcoming citywide cleanup. Beaumont is a very unique space in terms of the native foliage and stuff that we have, and we're even a registered bee city, right?
Definitely.
Tell us what that means.
So Bee City USA, I think it was started probably about 10 years ago. Beaumont joined, I think, about 5 years ago. It's part of basically promoting planting pollinator-friendly plants inside of our gardens. We can't get along without bees. They not only, they pollinate, of course, for our food, but it goes for cotton, which our clothing and everything else like that. So if we don't have pollinators, I don't know what we'll have.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of bees around here, and if they love it so much, there must be some good flowers that they're just particularly fond of.
Yeah, especially this time of year. Most people think of it as a weed, especially when it's in your lawn, but clovers are the best thing for bees.
Oh, really?
This time of year, they just love the clovers.
So
there's actually a movement of not mowing your clovers when they first come out. And most times when your clovers do come out, your lawn is not green anyway, so at least you have the green clovers in your yard, and the bees enjoy it.
Interesting. I did not know that. I figured it would just be flowers that had like petals and
no. There's a large movement about not cutting your lawn, actually.
Viewers, now is the time to take some notes. Wink, wink. We're talking about all these plants and stuff that you can plant in your own yard that promote, our native environment, our native ecosystem, and you can buy seeds or starter plants pretty much anywhere.
You can. But one thing I would suggest is going out to your local nursery to purchase your fruit trees, especially fruit trees, because those trees that they have on hand will be specifically for our growing zone. Sometimes you can find those at your local big box stores, but most times it could be a tree that doesn't work quite as well here.
And in case our viewers don't know, what is our hardiness zone or zones?
We're zone 9.
Zone 9. So
Zone 9.
very tropical.
Very tropical.
Very tropical. Lots of tropical plants, just like we've got here in the Beaumont Botanical Gardens.
Exactly. But we do get that hard freeze every once in a while, so you have to watch out. Especially when it comes to your citrus trees. Usually about every 10 years, we'll have to replant our citrus. We usually get that killer freeze that'll do them in. But for your peaches, pears, plums, all of your stone fruit, colder the better actually for them.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, they need chill hours in order to produce fruit.
For the non-gardeners, what exactly is a hardiness zone and why should we pay attention to that?
You should pay attention to that, especially when it comes to your fruit trees, because each fruit tree requires a number of chill hours. Up north, you can get 500 hours of chill period, where down here, we're lucky if we get 250, 300 chill hours. So your local nurseries will have that peach tree that only requires that low chill period. So being here in zone 9, very tropical, we can grow just about any type of plant outside. But when it comes to your fruit trees, that's when you really have to look at your climate zone.
Yeah, so I mean, all of this was taken into consideration in deciding what fruit trees get planted. But I mean, we were talking about plants too. The plants that you see around town are specific that will thrive in our native zone.
That's correct. We try to plant a lot of perennials around town, which we don't have to replenish every year. But you always still need that burst of annual color to give you that big show. Most of your perennials are natives. They have a short blooming cycle. So we intermingle the natives in with our annuals so that we have a nice show of color throughout the city.
And perennials they'll come back year after year. You don't have to replant them.
Perennials will come back year after year.
And annuals just like
seasonal.
The one season.
The one season.
Okay,
yeah.
very cool.
But I will say one season. Sometimes here you may get 2 because of our climate zone.
Mm-hmm, I see.
If we don't have a hard winter.
And all of that information is usually on the tag of whatever plant you're buying, right?
That's right.
Kind of the thing that's stuck in the soil. Right. So just read up on it. Tells you full sun, half sun, however,
exactly.
All the information you could ever need.
Most definitely.
Are there any like plants or trees or invasive species that we should look out for when kind of preparing our gardens?
Well, an invasive plant is just a plant that's unwanted. Mm-hmm. To some people, a dandelion is a source of food, whereas here we think of it as a weed. So it's really up to you what you'd like to plant in your yard. I would just encourage everyone to get out and plant. Either start a small garden. If you don't even have the space, you can grow something in pots. It's amazing what you can get off one little tomato plant called the Sweet 100. It gives you bountiful amounts of small tomatoes. So it's really anything you can grow.
My grandmother grows her garden in 5-gallon buckets. And she says, hey, I'm getting the potting soil. I don't have to worry about weeds. It's perfect. And it's right. Like at height, at a good height for her. She doesn't have to bend down.
Absolutely.
Gardens come in all shapes, sizes,
all shapes and sizes. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So, I mean, going around to these different nurseries and stuff, seeing what kinds of things can be planted and thrive in our environment, right? I mean, it's really something you'd encourage everybody to do. Just
most definitely,
for curiosity.
I'd say go out if you see something that you like, go ahead and take it home and plant it.
And there's a difference between starting something from seed and just buying a sapling or a starter plant.
That's right.
Like the hard work's been done. The germination is over.
Absolutely. Especially some seeds that you see in the store, it takes a lot for them to germinate. They're not as easy. It's just dropping them out and going. But planting vegetable seeds are really easy to do. But when it comes to your flowering plants, it can be a little more tricky to get it to germinate. So I'd start out with a nice little 4-inch pot and go from there.
I mean, yeah, and from there the possibilities are kind of endless.
I
would love to just drive around Beaumont and see wildflower gardens everywhere and just wonderful, pretty colors all year long.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, because winter here is not really winter.
No. No. Hit and miss.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Kenneth, for coming on to our podcast today and kind of telling us all things parks and green space, both what the city's doing and what citizens can do.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. And really, like, we have gotten a lot of good insight today, and I'm a little more confident in my gardening abilities just from what we said, you know?
Well, good. I'd encourage everyone to get out there and start a small garden.
You've really got me in the gardening spirit now, so maybe that's what I'll do this weekend.
Good luck to you.
Before we end this podcast, I want to share a few job opportunities with y'all. Summer is right around the corner, and we have openings for seasonal jobs around the city. We're looking to hire people at the Henry Homburg Golf Course, animal care, the rec department, our swimming pools, and even more. If you're interested in applying for these positions and want more information, please visit cityofbeaumontjobs.com. And thank you, viewers, for tuning into the Beaumont Beat, where we move with the heartbeat of the city. I'm your host, Paige Reed, and join us next time when we chat with the Recreation Department about summer in Beaumont and how you can enjoy it with us. See you next time.